Good evening, everybody, and you're very welcome to tonight's Herdwatch webinar. It's all about our new farm map service. So my name is Owen Maloney. I'm head of the member experience team here at Herdwatch. We're going to tell you all about our new farm maps features this evening, really soon. But I'd like to firstly start by introducing our guests for this evening. First and foremost, I suppose it's somebody who should need very little introduction, Philip Stewart, aka Farmer Phil. For those of you who maybe don't know who Phil is, he's actually a beef farmer and he's an agricultural contractor from County Longford. But Phil also has a very successful YouTube channel where he shares his farming experiences day to day with all his YouTube subscribers and viewers. You're very welcome, Phil, to today's launch event. I know, as I said a second ago, I know you're a contractor, so you probably don't have 2 minutes to spare this time of the year, but how are you keeping?
We're keeping good now. Thanks for having me on this event. And yeah, we're quite busy at the moment now, trying to beat the weather now to get crops sprayed off and get second cut silage cut for lads. And it's just busy time of the year now.
Yeah. Well, look, we're delighted to have you on board for today's webinar, Phil. I suppose before we get into things, I do have one question I need to ask you, Phil, and that is the big day set yet? We're looking to know when you're actually going to be walking down the aisle with Liv.
Oh, it is set, but we're keeping that under wraps, so we are.
Nice one. You'll probably have the GoPro with you anyway on that, Phil. I'd say no problem.
We probably will, yes.
Lovely stuff. Our other guest tonight is none other than Fabian Peo. So Fabian is CEO and co-founder here at Herdwatch. And Fabian's going to be here this evening to tell us all about, the significance of farm maps. So Fabian, thanks a million for joining in as well today. How are you?
Very good. Thanks, Ron.
Oh, thanks very much. I do believe this is the first time you've managed to squeeze into one of the actual Herdwatch webinars, Fabian.
I was made an offer I could not refuse.
Lovely stuff. Look, we're delighted to have Fabian on board as well. We're going to be hearing from Phil and Fabian loads over the next 20 minutes to half an hour. So I suppose the agenda for this evening, I'm going to go over the benefits of Herdwatch quickly in a second, but tonight's webinar is all about, our farm map service. We're going to talk to Phil and Fabian about the service itself, how Phil is getting on with it. We are also going to do a quick demo and show everybody how quick and easy it is to actually use the new farm map service to create paddocks in Herdwatch, create some paddock records as well in Herdwatch. So we'll have a little demo as well. And there'll also be a chance for some questions and answers for both Fabian and Phil. So if you do have any questions for myself or either of the lads, just use the chat facility as always on the webinars, pop them in there, and we're going to leave some time towards the end of the webinar to answer as many questions as we can. Just really quickly, if it tonight is your first time joining us on a Herdwatch webinar, very quickly, what is Herdwatch and what are we all about? So Herdwatch is just, I suppose, a really simple and easy to use solution that allows you to reduce your farm paperwork, but it also allows you to make better decisions on your farm. The idea with Herdwatch is that it allows you to record events that are happening on your farm on the spot, covering yourself for your farm quality assurance, and just giving you that peace of mind that your records are securely recorded and there for you whenever you might need it. So, you can record on the spot, get the job done, and you have that peace of mind that your records are safe forever. I suppose since our launch in 2014, Herdwatch has gone to become the market leading app in both Ireland and across the water in the UK. And over that 7-year period, we've continued to innovate and added a huge amount of features and benefits for our members over that time. You can see some of them here on that slide. Even in the last year to 18 months, there's been a huge amount of additions added to the app, from everything from the next gen app itself to our Verified by Herdwatch, our pre-audit check service, and obviously most recently our new farm mapping service. So Farm Maps by Herdwatch, what's it all about? Fabian, I'm going to bring you in here if you don't mind. Just if you'd like to tell people, what is Farm Maps by Herdwatch and where is it coming from?
Absolutely. Well, Farm Maps is our brand new farm mapping service. And this is a feature in the Herdwatch app that will allow our members to map their farm for free within the app. As you've mentioned already, the one of the things we're known for is making things easy. And so we always look for new ways to make things easier for our members. And I think what we've created is a very simple way for farmers to map their farms using satellite imagery. Essentially, you go in there and you can really quickly create a new paddock, selecting the field boundaries. It's a very visual tool, so you don't need to, be a rocket scientist or anything like that. It's very, very easy to do. And the idea then is once you've done that, you can actually add value to that map. You can name your field, you can color code it, you can actually record what purpose the field is for as well. And the idea there is, you can quickly see then at farm level what paddocks or fields are used for. Now, once you've done that, what's the point of doing that? Once you've done that, the idea there is you can use all those fields and all those maps to actually create records. So the records that you can currently create are what we call paddock notes, paddock records, for example, jobs that might occur on the farm, or spray records, which are required for compliance. And really all that to, again, as you mentioned, help eliminate the farm paperwork and allow our members to make better decisions.
Lovely. Thanks very much, Fabian. Just over to yourself, Phil. I know you've been using Herdwatch, but would you like to tell everybody how long you've actually been using Herdwatch for, and how do you think it helps you manage your farm day to day?
So we've been using Herdwatch for the last, could be 3 or 4 years. It's a long time ago. I can't even remember how I got onto it, but we've been using it for quite some time now, and the whole purpose of it is to make my mother's life easier, because she does, so to speak, the paperwork of making sure that we get ready for the audits and everything. And it's just so handy for us on the farm. As we're doing the jobs, dosing cattle, weighing cattle, we put all into that. And then my mother has it then on her end on the phone. It gets rid of all these pieces of paper and cardboard and losing them, and just really simplifies that. And been trying out the maps now and just getting around to mapping out the whole farm and getting a feel for it, and really liking just visualizing the job. Is just makes it so much easier to see and do things.
Yeah, no, I was going to ask you that next, Phil. I know you've probably had a bit of a sneak peek at the farm maps, and you've had a chance to look at it over the last week, but what were your first impressions, or have you had a chance to map all the paddocks on your own farm?
Yeah, we're working away at getting everything mapped out. But it just, we're really happy with it. It's just like when you can actually look down, like satellite down on the farm, and you can map out the fields and everything. It's just fierce handy. It's something that I've always been kind of looking for, and it's great to see it on that now.
Brilliant. Fabian, this is obviously the first version or the first release of Farm Maps with Herdwatch, but is there going to be any additional features added to the mapping service down the line?
Absolutely. I mean, as excited as I am about this first beta, I suppose we call it, and it's very much the first version, which is really exciting. This is really the foundation for a host of features that we believe will really help our members over the next few months and years. This is the start of I suppose, another branch, you could say, almost of the Herdwatch platform. Look, the first thing I would say is I'd love for our members to get their hands dirty, and go in and try Farm Maps today. By all means, give us some feedback. We've already had some very valuable feedback from our beta users over the last few weeks, and we've improved it already, and we're going to continue to do that. But really, I think what we should look forward to is the next phase of it, which is when you think of the biggest challenge that's facing all of us, really, it's the climate challenge. And I know it's a difficult topic, and at times I'm sorry to have seen, maybe farmers being at the wrong end of it for very, sometimes political, other times different reasons. But what we hope to do is actually help farmers prove that not only are they, ready to meet the challenge, but actually they can help by sequestering more carbon than they're actually emitting. The only way to do this is using data. And really, farm maps is the first, I suppose, step towards that, meeting and helping farmers meet that climate change challenge, along with other things. Obviously, the farm is the center of everything for a farmer. And things like grass management, fertilizer management, all these things will plug into the farm map features really, really well over the next few months.
Thanks, Fabian. I suppose just to go back, I know we had a bit of news yesterday, Fabian. Maybe some people in attendance or in the audience tonight may not have heard or seen yesterday's announcement that Herdwatch, we plan to double our workforce over the next 3 years. What can you tell the audience, Fabian, about our future plans?
Yeah, I mean, this announcement is really a signal or a sign of the ongoing success of Herdwatch for the past, 7, 8, 9 years. Owen, you were there on day one, and this success, by the way, partly created by our own members, who have been so loyal and given us all that feedback that's allowed us to improve the product. But one of the things I am, and I know we as a team are proudest of, is to not only to have helped thousands of farmers, but also to have created so many jobs already, both in Roscrea and in other places. So I'm really, really, thrilled to be growing the team and having that ability to build the next phase of Herdwatch. And I suppose one of the things sometimes farmers might wonder is where does my subscription go? And this is, again, Farm Maps is one proof of that. Every subscription that we get is reinvested towards the product and the team. We're betting on the future of farming, the future of technology applied to farming, and we're taking this step because we want Herdwatch to continue to expand and help more farmers, whether it's in Ireland, England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, and around the world. Really, I know it sounds very ambitious, but we are ambitious, and ultimately we want to offer more benefits to you, our existing members, and we're very, very conscious that farmers' needs are evolving constantly, just like any other business out there. And that's one of the things that I've been very vocal from the start is farming is a business, right? And things change, and we have to ensure that Herdwatch evolves with those needs, and we're going to continue to do that. So look, there'll be, like I said, there'll be other features that will sit on top of Farm Maps, but it's hopefully a very, very exciting few years ahead of us.
Thanks, man. Thank you, Fabian. Phil, I'm going to bring you back in. Would you like to tell us what's your favorite feature in Herdwatch, Phil, or what is the feature or the thing that you use the most or you like the most about the app?
Oh, that's we kind of split between creating the batches. So because we have quite a large herd, we have all different batches. I think we were TB testing today, and we had tested 8 batches of cattle today. So we can put all the individual numbers of the cattle in every batch. So then that way we know if we ever had an issue where we had to find a number of an animal, I can go through my batches. I know where he is. I know what paddock to go to. And that just simplifies the job so much. The other thing as well that I really like is weighing. Because we're beef farmers, we weigh everything coming in, going out, toys, to get all our average daily weight gain, see how all the cattle are doing, see what breeds are performing, what breeds aren't. And being able to see calculate the average daily weight gain without having to do any calculations myself, be able to see the history of the animal and all the different weights. Just, that's the 2 biggest things that I really enjoy. And then my mother, she really enjoys the recording of all the medicines and that when we're giving them, because that was always a tough time when the board B had come before Herdwatch, trying to find all the bits of paper that everything was written on was always an issue, but now it's just solved that problem altogether.
Brilliant. And look, I know you're a beef farmer, Phil, but we also know you bought a lovely little Dexter cow last year for Liv and Daisy. So what's the plan for Daisy? Are you going to breed over, or are you just going to keep her as a pet?
Yeah, no, we're gonna breed over, and we're actually going to be bringing her back on Thursday. And we've been keeping an eye on her to see when she was cycling the coming in heat, and we actually we for a while started to think she was pregnant because we didn't see her coming in heat. But last day we were up there, we seen her in heat, so we recorded on the app. So now we know when she's coming in cycle again, so we can have her home and we can have her AI man organised and get her in calf to a Dexter, all going to plan.
Lovely, lovely. I suppose just to switch it around to the farm itself, Phil. Is there any plans for the near future on your farm? Any big renovations or investments coming?
We're just kind of just tipping away as we're going. We have big plans in the future with the farm shop. Where Liv doesn't really want me saying anything just yet, but we have big plans coming for expanding the farm shop and maybe having a bit of a museum as well for all our vintage machinery. But that's down the road. In regards to the farm, we're just keep going as we're going. Next year, one of the big things, I say big things, we kind of buy a thing for the cattle every year. This year, we bought a cordless clippers. Next year, we're going to buy an EID tag reader so that it just makes it a lot easier when we're getting cattle ready for the factory at 5 o'clock in the morning. We don't need to be holding flashlights trying to scrape muck off tags or trying to read tags. We can just scan them. We have the number, and then we can record everything as we're going along. It just simplifies the cattle. That's the next big thing we'll buy for the cattle anyways.
Okay. And obviously you're a man that's well used to being in front of the camera, Phil. So how is the YouTube channel going?
The YouTube channel is flying. That's what it is. It's great. Look, the videos are getting good views. They're getting great response from comments and people coming. At the minute now, we have people coming every day to the farm shop to see me get a bit of merchandise and everything. And it's great. It's a huge experience being on YouTube and just to think of how many people are watching and how far out across the world and the different people you come in contact with and things. It's amazing. So it is. It's really when you sit down and you start looking at the stats and everything, it's just it's mind-boggling. So it does.
Yeah. Like talking of stats, I know you're coming up on that massive milestone. You're pretty close to 50,000 subscribers. So maybe you want to tell people that are maybe in attendance tonight how they could maybe help you to get over that 50,000.
Yeah, so if anyone who's not knows who I am, you can head over to YouTube, and if you look up Farmer Phil, all capitals, you'll find my channel, which is just a mix of what goes on a daily basis here, from the tillage to the contracting to our dairy beef calves and cattle. It's a mix of everything that goes on, and every now and again we try and sneak in a bit of some of our vintage machinery as well. So you can head over to YouTube and find me there, subscribe, and help me push on for 50,000.
Lovely, thanks, Phil. So look, thanks for that, Fabian and Phil. We're going to come back with more questions for both the lads really soon. So as I said at the start, if you do have any questions for Phil, for Fabian, or even for myself in relation to the app, use the chat facility, pop them in, and we're going to leave a little bit of time after our demo to answer as many questions as we can. Before that, like I said, we are just going to do a quick demo to show you the Farm Maps feature itself. I suppose take you through how quick and how easy it is now to create your paddocks and map them using the Farm Map service, and create some paddock records as well. So I'm going to bring up Herdwatch, and we're going to just walk you through and show you how simple these things are to do. So I'm not sure if anyone can see my screen, or is it? I'm going to stop sharing for a second. It was flashing away on me there. I'll just try it again. There we go. So I presume most people in attendance tonight are very familiar with the home screen of Herdwatch and how the app works. So to focus in around our new Farm Maps feature, on the home screen, you just need to click into your grass and crop section. And to create a new paddock hasn't changed that much. You do start again with the orange plus button down in your bottom right-hand corner, and you're going to just click your plus and then paddock to create your paddock. Now you'll notice the difference here to what it was before, where you would just create your paddock by name and area. With our mapping feature, you can now actually use the maps and draw the actual paddock by paddock. So you can see here I've already created some paddocks earlier from before. It's so quick and so easy to do this. So to start and create a brand new paddock, up in the top right hand corner, you just click on the little draw option here, and you can just start by clicking on each corner of your particular paddock. Now, a couple of things to note I suppose when you're creating your paddocks for the first time, generally what I do is I just do a pretty rough outline of the paddock. So you can see this is a fairly rectangular paddock anyway, but what I like to do is just get the four corners of my paddock. Once I come back to my first point, it'll straight away tell me, here's the area of your paddock. Now, if I want to actually edit my paddock or change the area of the paddock, or maybe zone it in a little bit narrower and get it closer to the boundaries, what I can then do is use my little edit option up here. And when I click on that, it brings up all the little areas that I've clicked on. So it's really, really handy, really quick and easy for you to then click on each one, and you can drag it just to move it. And it just helps you to get a more accurate boundary for each of the corners of your paddock. So very quick and very easy to do. You know, it'll get you right into the corners if you want to. And then same again, when you're done, you just need to click on save. That will recalculate the area of your paddock, and that's given to you in both hectares and in acres. So very, very handy too. Once you have that done, you can't see it because I'm probably hiding it, but in the bottom left-hand corner, you can just select next. And this brings you into where you essentially select a name for your paddock, and you can select what crop it's been used for, or if it's just been used for grass. One thing to watch out for here as well, that we've introduced our new color coding scheme. Really, really handy feature too. So you can select an actual color for your paddock before you save it. So this is for if you're using your paddocks for certain crops, or for maybe if certain paddocks are being used for grazing or for silage, you can color code them. And when you look at your farm map as a whole, you'll very quickly see based on the color what that paddock is being used for. So super handy feature that we have here. So I can select yellow if I like. In terms of everything else, it hasn't changed too much. You can just call your paddock I know you're spraying probably winter barley at the moment, Phil. So if you have, you know, a barley paddock, you can call it whatever it is, or close to the house or big field, whatever the names of your paddocks are. Your area is already here for you. It's calculated from the mapping, and you can just also select your crop. So as I said, if you're using it for spring barley or winter barley, you can select that here and just save. Simple as that. 30 seconds, you're going to have your paddock created. If I click on my map here, I can then very quickly and easily see the paddock that I just created. So I know, Phil, that's something that you've done. Like I know I asked you a couple of minutes ago, but did you find it was just as quick for yourself to create the paddocks? I think you might be just muted there at the moment, Phil.
Yeah, it was fierce handy. We were doing it on the phone there, and you were just dead handy, just banging the four corners and then expand it, just zoom in and get it where you wanted it, and then color code it. Liv had done quite a bit, and she was color coding all the paddocks, and she was really enjoying it now. So she was being able to just color code and have everything nice and neat, and it's a good job. So it is
brilliant. I suppose one thing I didn't mention actually when I was creating the paddock is you can, when you're creating a new paddock, it's just one paddock each time that you can map. So if you intend to maybe even this evening go and map the whole farm, you need to do them one by one. So just something to watch out for, a little tip that we have there. So create a brand new paddock, just map one paddock and save that, and then move on to the next one. We also now have the ability to create paddock records as well. So once you have your whole farm mapped out and your paddocks created, you can then start adding your records. I know Fabian mentioned earlier on that obviously Herdwatch allows you to record paddock records, but also your sprays and applications that you're using on the farm as well. So once your paddocks are there, you can start applying your sprays to your paddocks. But you can also add general notes and tasks to your paddocks as well. So when I come into grass and crop and click on my plus button, you can see that I have a paddock note or job here that I can select. And from here, you can select your record type. We have most of them covered in the drop-down menu. So everything from fencing to your grass measuring, if you're spreading slurry, or even reseeding some paddocks, you can select what is actually going on that particular paddock. So even if it was something like, you know, you're getting paddocks ready for grazing, you need to go out and fix some fencing, you can just select fencing, and you can, if you want, you can pop in a note. So fixing fence for grazing, if you want. There, then you just pop in here. You can see that I have plenty of paddocks created from before, and you just select. There's the barley paddock that I just created, or if you've done another additional paddock, you can select multiple paddocks and just save. Very quick, very easy again, and that's that general task or general record created for your paddock, and that's, like I said, going to cover all your kind of day-to-day events that you're doing on the farm in your fields. So once you have that done, if you ever want to go back then when you're in a particular paddock, or you want to know maybe you're spraying again this year, when did I last spray, or what was the last time I done something on this particular paddock. Click into your grass and crops area. You have your paddock list here. When you click into paddocks, you can see all the paddocks that we've created here. If I just go to the one behind the house, you always have your little options here at the top. If you want to view the map, you can see here's the map of that particular paddock here. If you want to see the history, just click on the history tab. That's going to bring up all the records that we've recorded for this particular paddock. So you can see everything there that we recorded, from fencing today to we sprayed it a couple of weeks ago. We done some grass measuring. If you're spreading slurry, you can see that all the records and all the history for that paddock over the past couple of years are very quick and very easy to get your hands on. And I suppose the last thing I want to show on the actual demo is how do you view the whole map, the whole farm as a whole, once you have it all mapped out. So here's your option here. Just click on your farm maps, and you can very quickly just bring up everything that you've mapped right here. And you can kind of see some of the color codes as well. So as I was mapping the farm, I was selecting the color codes based on what we were using these paddocks for. And if you want to just drill into a particular paddock, you can just click on that particular paddock. It'll bring it up for you, and you can click on the particular map for that paddock, or click on your history again. So that's pretty much it for our demo. It's very straightforward, very quick and easy to do, as you can see, to create the new farm maps. So we really do encourage everybody that has Herdwatch, get in there, start playing around with the new maps feature. It's completely free to anybody that has the Herdwatch app. So get in and start creating their paddocks.
We encourage everyone who doesn't have the Herdwatch app too. If there's anyone here who's just, I suppose, maybe looking at Herdwatch for the first time, download the app, sign in, sign up. There is a free basic plan which allows you to create the paddocks. So by all means, go to your app store and look for the app and get going. It literally takes minutes. Yeah,
like Fabian said, it's such a quick and easy thing to do. So you just need to pop over to your Play Store, pop over to your App Store. You'll have the app downloaded and your account created, and Farm Maps is there for you straight away. So thanks for that, Fabian. That kind of concludes our demo for today's webinar. So at this point, we are going to go to maybe some questions that have come in from the audience. I just want to see what's coming in. I know Chris and Mervyn have been working really, really hard in the background there. So I just want to tie in with the lads and see what's coming in for us. A second here now. I know Mervyn has sent me a couple of questions from everybody. So Phil, you're proving very popular this evening. Lots of people are asking how long you're using Herdwatch. Phil, I know we asked you that earlier on. Pat was actually asking what your favorite feature was of Herdwatch as well, Phil. So let me just see how many questions are coming. Okay, so can you print out the maps as a PDF? That's coming from Barry. So it's a good question, Barry. So obviously, I know we spoke, myself and Fabian, a couple of minutes ago, that this is the first iteration or the first version of Farm Maps. While it is something I suppose we're hoping to do, it's not currently a feature that's in the app allowing you to print the actual paddocks that you do create. But it's a really good feature request. I'm sure that our product and tech team, Fabian, maybe if you can maybe more than in the know-how there.
Would you believe it? That's probably one of the first one that was on the roadmap for the next, version of Farm Maps. So this is definitely something we're going to do. Okay,
thanks, Fabian. There is another question in from, I think it's from Rona. Rona's asking, can you print off the map to show the contractors? I think we just kind of answered that there as well, Rona. Now, if you're looking for a list, if you have your contractors, creators, contacts, you can find them within the app as well. But as Fabian said, this is something that we'll hope to build on in terms of add more reports around the farm maps as well. Pretty soon.
There is a little workaround on just for the moment. If people are that way inclined, you could actually just go into your map on the paddock and zoom in a little bit and then take a screenshot of your phone and send it on to whoever you want to send it on to. Yeah. It's not perfect, but I think if anyone wanted to use that for the moment, I think it's a good workaround.
It's a good quirk, yeah. A couple of people are asking, how do I actually update my app? So I know Fabian probably covered this as well a couple of minutes ago. It's really quick and easy to do. So depending on whether you have an iPhone or an Android, you just need to head over to the App Store or the Play Store, search for Herdwatch. Our app is there. You'll be able to either update it if you already have it on your phone from there, or if you don't have the app, you can obviously download it and create your free account within 2 to 3 minutes and get yourself fully set up and running on Farm Maps. question from Geraldine. Geraldine is asking, can Herdwatch take and store field records? So I think I was just showing you there as part of the demo, Geraldine, that once you do have your paddocks created, you can obviously create, general jobs, general notes for each individual paddock, as well as obviously your spray records as well. Those will also be available. If you're recording your sprays, you're going to be covered obviously for your farm quality assurance audits. You're going to be able to run reports that are going to allow you to see what sprays were used on what paddocks at what time. So I hope that answers your question, Geraldine. Come back to me if it hasn't. Phil, I'm going to bring you in here. There's a question from Patrick. Patrick asking, is Father Phil going to make an appearance here tonight? He's the biggest legend ever.
No, unfortunately not. He's still out and about doing work. I'm having a handy evening, so I am.
Yeah, you're taking a handy. We're after getting the wrong man, did we? So no Father Phil this evening, but maybe on the next one. Thanks for your question, Patrick. Andrea is asking a good question. So Andrea is asking, if you make a mistake when mapping out, how do you delete? So that's actually a really good question, Andrea. So this is something that's, very simple, very quick and easy to do. And we, like Fabian was saying, we encourage everybody to get in, start creating your paddocks, because if you make a little mistake, it's actually so easy to go back in there and edit a paddock or add a map to an existing paddock that you might have. So I might actually just screen share again. I think it's probably the easiest way to show how to do that, Andrea. So just give me 1 second and we'll do that. So I'll just bring up Herdwatch again, Andrea. So as I said earlier, just pop into your grass and crop section on the home screen. You'll then pop into paddocks, and with whatever paddock you think you've made a mistake on, Andrea, so be it the barley paddock that I created a couple of minutes ago, I can click on that and you'll see in the top right hand corner, and this is the same for every, I suppose, record or task that you create in Herdwatch, you'll always have an option to edit it here via the 3 buttons. So you can edit either the map or the actual paddock records itself. So if I select edit map, opens up the mapping feature for me, highlights this particular paddock, and as I was shown earlier on in the actual demo, all you need to do here is select the edit option icon, which is the second one down in the top right hand corner, and straight away that'll bring up this paddock highlighted with all the little areas, and you can just start dragging again, Andrea. So if you missed out a corner by a little bit, you can just keep dragging. It'll recalculate everything once you're happy enough. You can just hit save again. That's recalculated the area of the paddock. It might have changed slightly, and you can just hit done again, and that will resave everything for you. Just ask you, do you want to confirm the new area, which is yes.
Also, I think Andrea was asking about deleting the map, which is very easy as well. If you go back to the map there, if you edit the map again for a second.
Yeah, I will do.
There's a little trash can, I suppose, what they call it.
Yeah.
Term. And you can actually, so don't be afraid. If a map is completely wrong and you want to get rid of it, just go back to edit map there.
Yeah.
And there's a little, just under the edit button, the trash can. So
trash can
you click on that, and then you click on the map you want to delete. So if you do that again there, just click on that and then click on the map. Boom, it's gone. Now you have to save. So if you deleted the wrong one, you just hit cancel there on the little button. And that will bring back the map that you just deleted, or else you click save and that will then get rid of it.
Yeah. Okay. So I hope that answers your questions, Andrea. So really good question. Thanks for that. I'm just double check and see what else is after coming in here now. In the meantime, so that's Andrea. So Brian is asking, can I map a side farm? So you can, Brian. I suppose the farm maps geographically it covers everywhere. I think if you're using it on your phone, it's going to pick you up by your location. So it should bring you if you're on your farm, it's going to bring you pretty close to where your farm is, and you can obviously pan across to find your paddocks, or if you do have, say, an out farm a couple of miles down the road, you should be able to find it pretty quick. I know, Fabian, you were saying that there's an option to search by maybe the address, or if you put in the start of your air code, and it'll help you as well.
So at the moment, you can't search by the full air code, right? But it's something we're looking into. But you can actually type the first 3 characters of the air code where the farm is located, which gets you fairly close. Otherwise, you can actually just type an address, and the address search works really well. And just on a side note, Owen mentioned there on your devices, make sure when you get the pop-up to allow the location permission, as we call it, basically your device will tell you that you want to allow Herdwatch to access your location. I think it's very important. Well, if you want it to work properly, it's important to actually accept those permissions. If by any chance you rejected them the first time, it's very easy. You just go to the settings on your phone and you find the app, and in there you'll have a location option and you can turn it back on from there. but that helps the overall experience to actually have that automatic sort of location selection.
Yeah. Thanks, Fabian. The next question has come in from Ian. Ian is just asking, is it possible to mark drains on a particular paddock or field? So at the moment, Ian, you can probably see yourself with the first version of farm maps. It's literally just allowing you to create the actual map of that particular paddock. It doesn't allow you to I suppose, identify small things within that particular paddock. I'm sure maybe Fabian, if you want to come in again, it's something that we will bring to our product and tech team. There's going to be, this is version 1, everybody. So look, there's going to be massive improvements even to what we have here over the coming months.
But interestingly, on this one, once again, similar to the previous question around, sorry, I forget what it was, which is already on the roadmap. This one also is very likely to be in one of the next versions of farm maps, which will allow you to pinpoint certain items on the maps rather than just fields and paddocks.
Yeah. Thanks, Fabian. So hopefully that answers your question, Ian. So not right now, but hopefully pretty soon. Moving on to a question from Damien. Damien, how can you show the area for a paddock in acres? So you probably noticed as part of the demo, Damien, when we actually map out the paddock and we finish the paddock size, it gives you the area of that paddock in both hectares and in acres. Now, when you do go next and save the paddock, it saves it in hectares because that's what most farmers like to see. And I think for application rates, particularly for sprays, they're based an awful lot around, litres per hectare rather than litres per hectare or per acre. Apologies. So that's why it's set like that at the moment. Now, I'm sure once again, it's probably a really good feature request. Something that we can maybe display is the area. It's there when you create your paddock anyway for you, Damien, but maybe once you save the paddock, we can maybe display both area in hectares and in acres.
You can, sorry, Owen, you can actually see it in the map, sorry. If you go to the map tab on your paddock, you will see it will display both there. It doesn't display it in the form, but it will display it on the map on the little label.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Fabian. Next question is from David. Just reading them as they're coming in here. So will Herdwatch be able to use, map using land parcel numbers to send to the department? The answer is yes there, David. And I think there's a second part to your question. They can create the map and include the land parcel number on it. Yeah. So when you're creating that actual paddock, David, when you map it out first, obviously, when you click next, you can obviously color code it if it's been used for a certain crop or for a certain reason. But there's obviously notes and other things that you can add in as part of that paddock record. You can either create a paddock record or there's an actual note when you're creating the paddock that you can pop in. So you can pop in your land parcel number as well.
Just to be clear, in case that's what the person meant there is no way to put a LIPIS code into any map and generate a map of the particular field. Unfortunately, that data is not available publicly. But once you have mapped your field, as Owen said, there's actually a LIPIS field within the form where you can actually put your LIPIS code, and it'll be there for other uses. For example, for the spray compliance, it's required. So that's why it's there, so you can save it on the actual paddock record.
Yeah. Thanks, Fabian, again. Next question has come in from Alan. Alan is just asking, can you subdivide paddocks? Probably, if you want to take this one as well, Fabian, you can work away.
Yeah, the easiest way, and probably right now the only way to do that, to be frank, is actually to create those subdivisions as individual paddocks in Herdwatch, and then sort of name them and maybe accordingly, with sort of a little bit like the pedigree animals, where you have the start of the name is the same maybe across the paddocks that belong to one particular area. So that would be the way you do that at the moment.
Okay, thanks, Fabian. Barry is asking if the maps can be used to input grass cover and get an average farm grass cover. So grass measuring, I suppose, is something that's something that's in our minds strongly, Barry. I know Fabian said it earlier on. I think the farm maps feature is kind of the cornerstone of a lot of things to come. While grass measuring is not currently in the app, it is probably something that we're going to look at down the line. But having the farm maps feature is kind of a cornerstone, or it's a prerequisite of being able to do grass measuring and do other things around carbon navigators, etc. So I hope that answers that question for you, Barry. Jamie is connecting in as well. So how are you, Jamie? Jamie's asking, I have all my paddocks saved route maps. Can I edit them to add the map? Really good question here, Jamie. And the answer to your question is yes. Very quick and easy to do. So all you need to do, Jamie, is head into the app, head into the grass and paddocks area, click on whatever paddock you have created that doesn't currently have a map, and you can't miss it. There's a big blue button at the top. It says add the map to that. So I actually can't demo that at the moment because all my paddocks have maps. Would you believe? I updated them all today. But it's so quick and easy to do, Jamie. Literally, if you have a paddock created, you can just add the map to it there in less than a minute, and you can have it all mapped out with the area and everything. Phil, I know you're probably feeling a bit lonely over there. Going to try and bring you in here for a couple of questions now. So somebody is asking, Phil, we saw you got pigs. How are they getting on?
Oh, they're flying it, so they're starting to settle in now and get friendly. They're just starting to come to us now when you feed them, so they're starting to tear the place out of us.
Brilliant stuff. And actually, the same, I think it was John that asked that question. John is also asking, have you any plans to get into sheep as well, Phil?
Maybe in the future we might get some pedigree Hampshire Downs, as my father used to be big in pedigree Hampshire Downs. But for the time being, no. We don't have the setup, the handling, and I don't know whether our dogs will be sheep friendly or not.
Okay, you probably have enough.
Maybe you're waiting for Herdwatch to come up with a sheep app. Wink, wink, nod, nod.
Wink, wink. Not to give too much away. But yeah, no, that's brilliant. I think we're nearly there with the questions. So look, thanks again, everybody, for popping them in. What I'm going to do now is we're just at the end of the webinar. So let me just bring back up our slides. We've just one or two little slides just to finish off. So Phil, I know you mentioned your actual YouTube channel there earlier in the webinar, but if you've never come across Phil before, or if it's your first time hearing about Phil, please make sure and head over to his YouTube channel and subscribe to his channel as well. It's Farmer Phil. I think all capitals Phil. Is that the best way to search for that over on YouTube? Yeah,
it's all caps. If you just type in Farmer Phil, and generally come up first.
Yeah. So yeah, and you see all the videos Phil has put up there. There's a huge amount of them up there at the moment.
Highly recommended.
Highly recommended is right. Yeah. So yeah, if you haven't already, head over to YouTube and subscribe to Phil's channel. And that's kind of it for this evening's webinar. So thank you everybody for joining us and for connecting on tonight. I hope you really enjoyed what Phil and Fabian were able to help us out with. And look, we just showcased farm maps. It's the start for us. Fabian has said it already. We really encourage you, get the app downloaded or get it updated if you already have it. Get in and start using farm maps. Let us know what you think straight away. If you've never used Herdwatch or farm maps before, pop into the App Store, Play Store, get the app downloaded, set up your free account, and you can access the mapping feature straight away as well. So that's pretty much it. Phil, Fabian, thank you very much for your time, lads, this evening. Really appreciate it. As always, if we didn't get to some of your questions, or if you have any questions that you'd like to reach out to us on, you can use the app as normal. There's the message center there to drop us a message. Somebody in our support team or our sales team can give you a call and help you out. Or if you'd like to give us a call yourself, the numbers are there for UK and Ireland. You can see 0505 34400. And if you're in the UK, it's 020 377 32763. Yeah, thanks a million, lads. Speak to everybody again soon, and keep your eye out for our next webinar, which won't be too far away. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.